And they did something very ingenious. The people they called in for the FGD and all that, they took a couple of them and paid them money to say, go home, spend 1 week without milk. Don't take any milk, just go home. The things that will require that you take milk, don't take milk. They now came back after that 1 week and asked them questions. So what was the experience like? It was agonizing for them. And that was where they knew they found an idea. And that was what led to Got Milk, a whole lot of stuff that came from that. So without that, and it's not just about the strategies, there's the collaboration of everybody. The strategies, the art director. So the ideas sometimes can come from anybody. Now, one last example of how strategies can make a difference. Early days of my career, MC and Sachi and Sachi, we had this Sachi and Sachi booklet, and they were talking about, they called the brief, the Bible of the brief or something, how to write a brief. We call it the Sachi and Sachi Bible. So they cited one example. In the UK then, I don't know about now, canned salmon the fish, canned salmon usually will come in pink color. So when you open the can, it's pink. So then they had this client that had it. So in a market that's been used to pink. For decades, how do you sell white? So they went on and on and on. Then they ended up on something that is really, really wacky. So they said, I can't remember the name, it's a long time. Say XY salmon guaranteed not to turn pink in the can. This salmon,
it made pink wrong.
So the pink guys had a big pink problem. So you are very crucial. And your job is not just to write the brief and say, I've done my bit. You have to follow through. Even when the creative work is being done. Follow through. So you can also keep guiding and finding opportunities. That's the way, you do great campaigns. So thanks.
Alright, before we go, Provost has a question. If you're angry with it, make noise. You will not graduate.
Sorry.
I saw you.
Please collect the student's number.
If you don't mind, because I know you're pressed for time. It's actually a student that dropped this question, and I think it's very beautiful. So it says your background to associate creative director, to executive creative director, to MD of your own agency. How did you navigate life path as a creative amongst strategists to position one of the leading agencies presently in Nigeria? Would you like to give us tips that can be beneficial to young creatives who also have the vision to be leaders of agencies? Maybe you can close with that. And I will help.
Okay. If I understood the question well, how did I get here? Foremost, I think the most important thing is how you start. It was never my ambition, if you need to know, to start an advertising agency. It was never my ambition. I thought it was too much trouble because I'm a creative. I don't want to worry about non-creative matters, money, client, people, payroll, all sorts of headaches. So it was not my intention, it was not my dream, as far as dreams go. All I wanted to do was to end my career as a creative leader, if possible. But one thing, so while I was talking about how you start, I was lucky enough to start where I started from, MC and Sachi and Sachi, because there was a big Sachi and Sachi culture. And we didn't see ourselves as being limited by geography. We saw ourselves as being part of the world. The Sachi mantra then was nothing is impossible. And that, was very prevalent in the thinking of the agency where I started from. So my dream, I never saw myself as competing just within here. I'm competing with anybody anywhere in the world. That's where I started from. And I had always wanted to be at the forefront of those who will make the difference as regards this particular market. But starting an agency was not part of the deal. So I've had to move from agency A to B to C and all that, and always for a reason. Am I being challenged enough? Am I getting enough? You know, when I left MCNA in '94, I did almost 1 year as a freelance, writer, because I couldn't think of where to go. I couldn't think of an agency that could really fit what. But I took a job somewhere. I'm going to leave out names, just to pay the bills because I was going to get married that particular year. Then I moved from there, and I moved from there to another agency because I had worked with the one of the partners before, one of the art directors. I said that inspired me, so that was why I went there. And I got there, and again, I got there, and I thought my own dream of what the agency should be doing, where they should be going, wasn't aligning with that of the owners of the business. So when I saw the opportunity to leave the place, I went to Insight. I had so much time on my hands doing nothing, and it was not challenging. So it was always about advancing my skills, looking at the opportunities, and the larger picture for me is this market where we are. I think it was from Insight I actually started taking on leadership roles, and that I saw as a very important, is a duty of sorts, that we have to expand the scope, we have to challenge ourselves, we have to do better. Then I left Insight for TBWA, from where Noazak. So the idea of Noazak also came from the point of view of, like I said, it was never. I was going to be 40 that particular year, and I kept asking myself, what next? I'm not a birthday person, but that what next was a very strong, recurring thing in my subconscious. And I had read a book before then as well by John Steele, The Eighth Habit, where he said 4 things you must do: live, love, learn, leave a legacy. And as I was turning 40, I was asking myself if I was doing enough of that. And I was asking myself also that, look, despite my loathing or dislike for business, as it were, I saw that most clients would rather come to me to solve their problems. They thought I was very passionate about their business. And I was asking myself, what is more important? The fear of numbers, the fear of business, or solving problems and having people to do that? But the bigger issue for me was the fact that I looked at the terrain, and I thought that people in my generation, those who came into the business in late 80s, early 90s, I couldn't think of anybody, I couldn't point to anybody that was doing anything that was inspiring to me. So all these old men have done great stuff, Shobanjo, Odosi, and the rest of them, and all that. So what would they say about my generation? What would I leave behind? So this larger picture of expanding the coast. When you look at the Gun Report, the Gun Report, by the way, for those who don't know, is a compilation of all the awards from around the world, and the Gun is GUNN, from around the world, and they look at the different agencies, the different countries, and see who is doing what. And it's like, they do a ranking of agencies, of countries, of this and that. And the only country from Africa that ever got onto the Gun Report was South Africa for a long time. And when you look at how Africa was evolving, South Africa was consistently flying their flag, speaking for Africa, and at some point North Africa also woke up. Tunisia won big time at Cannes, Egypt and all that. Then East Africa also caught on to it. Kenya is winning and all those things. And where's West Africa? So for me, that was a bigger motivation. Where's West Africa? Where's my generation? Back to leaving a legacy. What would you leave behind? What is all of this going to be about? So I was like, so the last thing on my mind was failing or anything. That's how I got onto this idea of start an agency. It's not about the title, by the way. It's about what's driving you. So right from being a trainee copywriter, I was lucky enough to have a worldview because of where I started from, Sachi and Sachi. And I wanted to just, be there, where the world is, and speak for myself, speak for my country, speak for my profession. So that's very important. Something needs to really drive you to to get better. So the titles irrelevant, you know.
Yeah.
It's about what's driving you
A deeper
and what are you trying to
conviction.
leave behind. Yeah. I hope that answers it.
Yes, it does. And this is who the cutting oil this masterclass. I mean, I've learned a lot. I mean, summary of everything. First off, be a sponge. There's something to learn in everything. You literally learn. If you see a madman, you learn how not to be mad. There's something to learn in everything. Thank you, Mr. Lanre Adisa, for honoring our invitation and then giving us the last word on ending knowledge. So I would like to invite someone here because we have a short presentation.
Oh.
Very short. So I'd like to invite someone who had pushed the boundary as well. Looking back to advertising, there was no formal school to guide people into understanding what advertising means. I'm seeing some people don't even know what advertising is. They believe the people that act on TV are the people that work in that company. But a man decided to, in the midst of his 9 to 5, create a 5 to 9 and start up what we are seeing here. He went on to start an advertising school, and today that school is called O2 Academy Lagos. Let's put our hands together as we welcome the provost and founder of O2 Academy Lagos, Mr. Ozo.
Wow, you know, when you have your boss around, you try to be humble. So right now, I'm not your provost. I'm with my organ. So can I sit this?
Please feel free, please.
Thank you, boss. Okay,
First off, I would like to use this opportunity to appreciate Lanre Adisa for his constant support to O2 Academy every step of the way. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
And maybe it might interest you to know that I got into advertising, worked with the first agency, the second agency, and my third agency was TBWA, and he was our creative director at TBWA. I could still remember the day we came for the interview at I've forgotten that street on the island. And before the interview, we had read everything about you. I am my copywriter, Kule Shitu. We've checked out all the works, the creative works he has done. In fact, I'm sorry, you know, I have to say this. We see him as our advertising god. You have no idea. You know, when you are passionate about something and you see someone who is doing it so well, you know, and after that interview, we entered fasting and prayers. And guess what? They called us and we joined TBWA on MTN Master Brand. And he gave us wings to fly. You know, there are bosses who look out for what you are doing wrong, and guess what? You keep doing wrong. But he is the type of boss that will just want to believe in you. In fact, I always say this, and he claims he can't remember that incident. When we joined TBWA, I have never for one day entered an aircraft. And so when I joined, first week, second week, they've given us a brief. He just looks away. You know, when someone believes in you, you have no choice but to meet up to his or her expectation. And so the next thing, we did this stuff for MTN, the client approved it. And the next, he says, Kule Shitu, Ozone, you guys are going to be going for this shoot. I'm like, wow. And for the first time, sir, you wouldn't believe this. I have not directed any shoot before in my life. But because he believed that we can do it, guess what? We did it. And that was outside of Lagos. It was for Northern campaign for MTN. And for the first time, your guy showed up at the airport. I enter plane. They give me water, they give me coke, they give me biscuits, you know. And I was thanking God my path crossed with a leader that believes in the possibilities that lies inside each and every one of us. And for me, that taught me to believe in people. That's why I have this inscription here, believe. I started seeing what people could actually be, not what they are at the moment. That gave me a lot of confidence, and I must say thank you. I keep thanking you. And when I wanted to start O2 Academy, I spoke to him, and he said, "Ozone, go ahead." You know, that also gave me the confidence. And for every time we call on him to show off our masterclass, he's always there for us. He's also our advisory, one of our advisory board members. How many of you have been to our website? Yes, his picture is there, giving us all the support. And he is not doing this for me, he is doing it for you. It's a good place to clap. Yes, he is doing it for every young person that wants to get into advertising, that has got a passion for the advertising industry. And that is exactly the reason why he showed up here today. I came to his office some days ago, and I just told him, I said, "Boss, please, if you don't mind." He's got his busy schedule. In fact, we've eaten into his time with about 30 minutes, but he's still sitting down here because of you. Thank you so much. Thank you. We appreciate it. And on behalf of the faculty and the students of O2 Academy, we would like to present this certificate of honor. So on behalf of the faculty and students of O2 Academy, would like to present this certificate of honor to you, Lanre Adisa, for joining us in restoring hope to Nigerian youth and marketing communications industry. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Yes. Do you have anything to say?
Okay. First, thank you very much, Ozone. Thanks for never failing to remind me that I'm an old man. You know, the thing is this, and you can learn from that. There's a habit of mine that at some point people come to you, people who are not even your, your employees or whoever, and they just seek some kind of help. Sometimes you can't help, but always leave them feeling good. I think it's very important.
That's right.
I've run into people who will meet me and say, "Oh, Mr. Adisa, you don't remember me, blah, 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 so, yeah, da, 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 da. And whatever you said did so and so to me." So it's good that we do that we influence people, inspire people positively. So, like I said, a couple of the things that I probably did or said, I can't remember. But it's good that somebody did something with it and turned out great. So, well done. Thank and I wish all of you great careers. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. So we are going to be having a group picture. So I think the best place to have that picture is outside because of the crowd. Okay. And he should be on his way after that. Thank you very much, everyone. Yes.
Thank you.
Do your job. Please, can we be appreciating our board? This guy. Oh, it's raining. Okay.